My name is Dan Katona. I'm the Deputy Director at the Ohio Arts Council. We're Ohio's state arts agency based out of Columbus. So we're a public sector agency. We're a unit of state government. We do this year about $12 million worth of grant making in terms of awards, something like 600 or 700 separate awards out to nonprofit organizations as well as some individual artists. The OAC adopted an online grants solution in 2005. We were one of the first state arts agencies in the U.S. to adopt a system like that, replacing paper and PDFs and that sort of thing at that time. It was a good solution at the time, and it let us get over the hurdles of, could folks use computers? Did folks have dial-up access? Were they capable of navigating the sorts of electronic things you had to navigate? But it wasn't a system that grew with us over time. Our impression was that as we evolved, it had a difficult time keeping up, and it didn't give us quite the flexibility and the nimbleness to respond to changing conditions. So launching a new system with Smart Simple for us had mostly to do with that adaptiveness and nimble response. We felt as though, although our staff is only 16, we had the capabilities to do some management in-house rather than having to send information out and wait in line for programming and helpers at some other organization to do things for us, which Smart Simple allowed us to do. We are not the hundreds of $1 million organization that some private foundations are, and so that means a streamlined system that is appropriate to the amount of time that folks are spending is important. Some of our grants are $1,000 or less in some cases, and so it's not fair to applicants and to constituents to make them wade through a complicated process just to get a relatively small amount of money. So we wanted to be able to design some programs that are quite nimble and quite slim in terms of requirements, and again have that range of options as we go through designing different parts of it. So a whole range of issues I think played into it. We were just ready for something new that would give us some new abilities and some new options to offer to the public. The biggest attraction to a new system was that ability to evolve over time. We're still, frankly, adjusting to that mode of operation where every few months there's something new, there's something different. I think people online today in 2017 are pretty accustomed to this. Their bank platform adjusts and this social media platform changes, and there's an expectation that organizations with which you work are evolving underneath you, and they're adding enhancements and changing as the times change. So we feel like we're able to play in that space as well, and our system will do that for folks that are using it, which is kind of exciting. The greatest benefit I think of Smart Simple is how well it matches up with what we do. I would almost say there's a bit of a symbiosis or a similarity in how we each operate as organizations. It gives us a freedom to look forward into the future and feel comfortable about what may come next. So our hope is that our budget grows and that our staff continues to grow and be successful, and folks are in the right places to do the good work that they want to do. But you never know what's going to happen. So if the board gets together tomorrow and says this or that new thing has happened, we need to launch a new program this month that does this particular thing, or there's a political change, or there's a problem, or there's an issue, or an opportunity. In the past, that would have been extremely challenging, or it would have been impossible. Today, we can do that. We could sit down our staff in our office in a matter of days or a week or two with almost no help from any place and no additional expense, and do that. We could launch a program. But there's no barrier to our ability to adapt and grow into the future as new opportunities and challenges present themselves. And that's a comfortable place to be, to know that whatever comes your way, the system is going to be able to adapt and flex and allow you to accommodate those changes. In the arts and culture, you often have folks both at the funder level, but also certainly at the applicant level. Arts and culture organizations, artists themselves, arts education folks, and teaching artists. These are often not necessarily tech-savvy people. They're in the business of doing whatever it is that they do. They don't necessarily have a lot of extra time on their hands. You're going to have organizations that are volunteer-run, or folks who are working on a shoestring budget, and they want to spend time getting the dance performance together, making sure the exhibition gets on the wall, making sure that the residency with the kids is together. They don't want to waste time on a system that's confusing, or instructions that don't work, or extra paperwork and stamps and trips to the post office and stuff like that. So it's been a huge success story for us to be able to give them a tool that is it's successful and it gets out of their way. It lets them get back to doing what they're supposed to do, and it gives us a chance to be able to say to the taxpayers of Ohio, our funding for the system adjusts as we use it. So we only pay for what we use. If we use it a little bit more, we pay a little more. If we use it a little bit less, we pay a little bit less. That's a valuable thing for us to be able to say to our authorizers and to our stakeholders who support us with taxpayer dollars. And there's a lot going on in Ohio in the arts and culture. There's a tremendous amount of talent. There's a tremendous amount of inherent value to the work that's put on, the economic impact that it makes in the state. We'd be doing a disservice to those folks and the folks that we interact with on a daily basis if we didn't bring our A game and put together a tool and a system for funding and supporting those organizations that wasn't top-notch as well. They deserve it. It's the taxpayers' money, and the folks who do that work every day in all those different sectors in which they work are certainly deserving of a top-notch tool that serves them effectively. So we feel as though we've gotten to that point now, and we're thrilled with where it's headed next.